What's up, guys? Welcome back to Crypto Weekly Review. Today, we're going to put HEX back into expected. We're going to take a look at some stakes and some stats. We're also going to talk about the Bitcoin ETF and why I think it's going to backfire in Gary Gensler's face. With that being said, let's not waste any more time and jump straight into the charts.
You big old sus, yeah. I just doubled up on crypto. I just doubled down on the new vest. Now my chair looking like 2 checks. Type of money made me want a 2-step. Who next? This week I be on the moon next. Stock going up like 2x. That's a fast flip like suplex. Two really stepping like a duplex. You bet never lose change, but I do flex on it.
Bitcoin on the daily chart looks like it is respecting the pivots. It is respecting the 21. As you can see, we had a huge pump, and that's off the ETF approval news. We'll get into that a little bit more later, but it looks like it's breaking through all of the pivots on the daily chart, and we could easily cool back down to 58,000 and be super bullish. As you know, we trade the 21 exponential moving average on this channel, and you can see when it gets support here on the 21, it breaks out support. This is called a daily uptrend, and as you can see, it rejected here how many times? Like 6 or 7 times. That means it's in a daily downtrend. The second most important line is this yellow line, the 200 exponential moving average. As you can see, it got support here, and I'm going to tell you why that's important for HEX later, but it got support and it popped up, and it actually touched this pivot and the 21 and popped right through here. So really, realistically, we can actually come back down here to 53,000, touch this pivot and keep going. Do not underestimate what Bitcoin can do. It is very volatile, and as we are going towards all-time highs, as we're going towards 100K, there's going to be huge $10,000, $20,000 swings, and that's what it does. You have to have diamond hands and plan accordingly. Before we get into the other coins, let's talk about the first Bitcoin futures ETF in the United States. It is set to begin trading next week, and this is from ProShares. It's a ProShares Bitcoin strategy ETF. It's going to be traded as BITO, and they are coming out saying that they're going to start trading next week, but we have heard nothing from the SEC yet for an official formal declaration of approval. Here's the catch. The catch is it is not settled in Bitcoin. That means that ProShares does not actually have to hold Bitcoin. It's just a paper contract. And Gary Gensler at the SEC made it this way because he does not want to pump Bitcoin. But it's funny because I think it's going to backfire in Gary Gensler's face, because what does that do? That makes speculation for an actual Bitcoin settled ETF. So now the ETF hype is not dead. Now the ETF hype will be, when will the first Bitcoin settled ETF be approved? And that's what we trade in this market. We trade on speculation. And Gary, you gave us more speculation. Thank you very much. So what does this mean for Bitcoin price? What does this mean for cryptocurrency in general? I think up and to the right. I think Bitcoin is going to pump slowly on this ETF hype, and then I think a lot of it is baked in. I think we're going to see a lot of huge moves up and down. I think people are going to get shook out, and all-time highs are in our near future. If you did miss the pump, a good place to buy, a perfect place to buy, would be 53,000 at the 21 exponential moving average. Now remember, there's no certainties, there are only probabilities, and that is a high probable place to bounce. Let's talk about HEX. HEX is dumping and unloading, and it's only the beginning. We broke out of this descending channel here. Hey, look. I know I'm going to give it to you straight here. I'm a big HEX holder. Yes, I did sell around 45 cents. I am a day 50s Hexican, and I've seen a lot of hard pullbacks on HEX, and I think this is what's going to happen next. I think it's only just beginning. As you can see, we trade the daily 21, and it rejected 2-3 times on the daily 21, then dumped, and look at this. It touched this pivot perfectly over here at 28 cents. And if you actually look over here on Uniswap, it actually touched 20 cents. And what is that? That correlates to our other pivot and the 200 exponential moving average, which is this yellow line, which is very important. And I'm expecting a massive bounce here. As you can see, there's a wick down here to 20 cents, and how markets move, they typically chop down and test that wick to make sure that that was the bottom. First, I want to say I am fully staked now. Yes, I sold some liquid HEX, but that's just to buy the dip, so don't kill me. I'm a trader. I'm just trading. So right here is big payday. Look at this. It was 212 million HEX. That was big payday. That was that massive dump. That was about an 80% dump. Could it happen again? Yes. It is no coincidence that we got that massive HEX pump during this time right here, April until now, and I've been calling this the second happy time. And on top of that, we had the pulse chain sacrifice that really, really built up the hype conveniently before the largest expiry spike in HEX history. Yesterday, we almost had 1 billion HEX expiring. We got on the 21st, next week, we have 1.25 billion HEX coming. And buckle up, because right before Halloween is 1.53 billion HEX expiring. And it's going to be a lot of sell pressure. Now, if you look at Uniswap USDC pair, which is the highest liquid pair, we have $17 million in USDC. So it could actually dump to zero. And I'm going to be ready for that. As you can see here, HEX has fallen out of its banana. I mean, it's parabola. If you just take a close look at this, it's almost mathematically impossible for it to continue to go up unless it just goes directly vertical at a 90-degree angle. And if we turn on the weekly pivots and get rid of all this nonsense, the weekly Fibonacci's are, the top bar is right around 2 cents. So just to give you a little bit of an idea, the VPVR, which shows where the most volume has ever been traded, is down here at 5 cents. This is what's called the point of control. Could we go to 5 cents? Yes. And here's an example. This guy right here has a HEX stake ending October 17th for 10 million HEX and October 20th for 10 million HEX. He's got 40 million HEX coming out in the next couple months. And if we look at his wallet, this guy is selling. He's a seller. He's got USD coin out and $400,000 of USD coin out 27 days ago and 7 hours ago. And this guy is probably going to dump all of it. And he's just one guy of many. So watch your back out there. I'm just giving you non-biased content so you can make your own decisions. This is not financial advice. I'm not telling you to end your stakes early. Don't do that. I'm just showing you what's going on with HEX. In other news, Grayscale Investments is close to filing an application for a spot Bitcoin ETF, sources say. As you know, Grayscale is a huge buyer and holder of Bitcoin, one of the biggest in the corporate world, and they have a trust called GBTC. So load up the hype train, get ready for some more speculation on Bitcoin ETFs. This is not going away. We have a lot more reasons to pump the price. As you know, Grayscale Bitcoin Trust's buying was the reason the main buyer of mined Bitcoins during this bull run. Imagine what's going to happen when all of these different ETFs have to hold Bitcoin in their reserves to settle with physical Bitcoin. It's going to absolutely moon the price. I think Bitcoin is going to have a dominance run. I think it's going to steal the show for a while, and I think it'll give a good opportunity to buy some alts. Let's just take a quick peek at BTC dominance. That's the BTC.D chart. As you can see, it's on a nice little tear here, and you can see how strong the move is because how far away it is from the 21. It is through the last pivot on the daily. If we can get above that 200, if we can get above that 200 and get a candle body close up there, I'm going to say all season is officially over. Let's take a look at this chart. Balance on exchanges, and that's all exchanges. We're looking at how much Bitcoin is kept on exchanges, and as you can see, it is reverse correlated with the price. So as the Bitcoin goes down on exchanges, the higher the price goes because people aren't selling, they're keeping it in their private wallets. And as you can see right here, when Bitcoin dumped, people sent it all to exchanges. And now look, we're getting at very, very, very plateau lows. One of the main reasons I am so bullish on crypto is it seems like the world is actually coming around to it. And I know this is crazy. This is just Zimbabwe's increasing pro-crypto finance minister, not going to try to pronounce that name, recently told his colleagues in government that it is impossible to run away from cryptocurrencies. He said that after revealing that some of 30% of the country's youth are now invested in cryptocurrencies. People are realizing all over the world, it's not just El Salvador. Even Vladimir Putin says it's still early, but crypto can be used for oil trade settlements, which is a huge, huge undermining of the petrodollar. If you're not sure what the petrodollar is, it's in the 1970s when Nixon took us off the gold standard and backed US dollars by oil, that all oil settled everywhere. It demands dollars. It must be settled in dollars. That's what gives us the world reserve standing. So this is kind of scary in a way. To settle oil trading in cryptocurrency would be a huge hit to the dollar. And as the dollar goes down, Bitcoin has no choice to go up because it is a trading pair. So guys, keep an eye on everything. I think Bitcoin's going to run. Watch your bags. It'll be interesting to see what happens next. This is what's awesome about crypto. I call it cryptotainment. It's never a dull day. And if you play your cards right, you'll be filthy, filthy rich. And that's what I've been doing, and I hope you can too. Anyways, if you made it this far, please follow me on Twitter. It's at C150Traffic. Throw me a like and a sub, and I'll see you on the next one.